Hello and welcome to the University of Nottingham versus Bristol PSL match. It's the second round in the PSL, and tonight we have a cracker for you. Our first match of the evening is going to be Hannah Ramadan, local girl, goes to the University of Nottingham and world ranked 57 in the world, up against Tesney Evans, world ranked 17. So this evening, as I said, our first match is going to be Hannah Ramadan versus Tesney Evans, Lewis Walters v Tom Ford, which is on Court 9, so we can't broadcast it until in between the matches on the show court, which will show Declan James versus Yusuf Solomon and Nick Matthew versus Marwan El Shabagi.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Nottingham Squash Club, the home of the PSL holding champions. This is the first home match of the 17-18 season. We're looking forward to a fabulous match from the visiting Bristol team, and a very warm welcome to their travelling fan base. We look forward to a fabulous evening of world-class squash. Please give the players a raucous reception as we introduce them on court. First up, starting with the ladies, representing Bristol tonight, current holder of the Welsh Nationals title and ranked at number 17 in the world. She made the semi-finals of the Hong Kong International as recently as September this year. A big welcome for Tesney Evans. And playing Tesney tonight, representing Nottingham, winner of the China Grand Prix as recently as August of this year, currently ranked as world number 57, Put your hands together for Hannah Ramadan. And on to the gents. Playing fourth string match tonight for Bristol, winner of last year's Kent Open, previous best world ranking of 60, only a couple of years ago. Please welcome onto court, Tom Ford. Representing Nottingham tonight in the fourth string spot, recently returned home and appointed Nottingham club coach, having coached Yale University, the current Jamaican #2, world ranking of 186. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Lewis Walters. Moving on to #3 for Bristol, winner of last year's Austrian Open. This year achieving his career high ranking of 53, today ranked at 56, Josh Masters. Playing Josh tonight for Nottingham, winner of this year's Toulouse Open in January. PSA ranked just 3 spots behind his opponent tonight, world number 59, Richie Fallows. And on to the #2 strings, representing Bristol tonight. He debuted on the World Tour in 2013. 2015, he was the World Junior Championship runner-up. Currently world number 54, Mr. Yusuf Soliman. And for Nottingham, at #2 tonight, local lad and current holder of 2 titles this year, the Irish Open and the Tring Open, currently ranked world number 40. Please make a lot of noise for Declan James. Last but not least, the respective #1s. A real treat. 2 athletes that recently have spent a lot of time in the world top 10. Representing Bristol, last year's winner of the Grasshopper Cup in Switzerland, the Houston Open, the current world #6. A huge welcome to Marwan El Shorbagy. And Marwan's opponent tonight needs no introduction. Simply to say, current holder of the Canary Wharf Classic, winning his 5th British national title this year, to add to his 3 world titles, 3 British Open titles. You know him as the Wolf, current world #4, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick Matthew, OBE. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a fantastic night of squash ahead of us. We are live, being streamed for Unsquashable TV, Unilad, and England Squash. We're also on Knots TV, so please behave yourselves. Now's a chance to take a photo of the players. Get your mobiles out, and we'll get the games underway as soon as we can.
Okay, so my name is Sam Jones, and our first match of the tonight is going to be Hannah Ramadan versus Tesney Evans. I'm joined in the commentary booth by none other than head coach at the University of Nottingham, Rich O'Connor.
Hi everyone. Interesting for me because spent a lot of time with Hannah, and this time last year, Hannah had a good match with Tesney. Took the first game, gave her a bit of a worry, but Tesney showed her superior ranking and came through on that one. Tonight, I think both of them, as far as I know, Hannah's improved, and I'm sure Tesney has made headway onto those top 20 world rankings, so they're both improved. It's going to be a great tussle. It should be very interesting to see. I think some people might look at the world rankings and see that Tesney is high compared to Hannah. But the thing is that Hannah's so busy at university, she doesn't have time to play the world tournament, so she doesn't get the point scores that she needs to get a higher world ranking. She has been 42, and she had made the World Championships last 32 in April, so she definitely can compete at this level.
It's very true. Everything I've seen from Hannah in all of our training sessions is some very, very special work. You know, she spends a lot of time doing work with you, Rich, and plenty of time on solo on court. And you see the amount of practice that she puts in every single day. As soon as she gets the chance, she is on court.
I think this is a common theme with anybody who is professional and wants to be professional, that they'll dedicate as much of their day as possible to their squash. It's quite difficult, I think, to do a serious degree as well as be a professional. I mean, I know from my day, I used to spend a lot of time not going to lectures so that I could get some extra practice before matches in the evenings and so on. Yeah, so it's a balance.
Oh, is that what you're spending your time doing?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. I think, the interesting one, the next names down that you see, Lewis, has just joined me. He came from 5 years working at Yale, and he was the assistant coach at Yale while he was doing his professional career, and then decided he wanted to come home to Nottingham, and he's back now. He does some work at the uni for me, and he spends a lot of time coaching the uni students at Nottingham, and at the same time he's busy kind of doing his own degree at the rival I might add, Trent University, Nottingham Trent, and he's quite a busy guy himself, so he's also having to manage his time quite a lot. So yeah, there's quite a lot of university connection in the team and outside.
It certainly is. Which of course, I mean, I know what the answer's going to be, but which match is your pick of the night?
Well, I think it'd be the same for everybody, because you always want to see the absolute pinnacle and the absolute best, and I think Nick and my one, I just really hope for a really good show. It's it's what a lot of the crowd, when you speak to them, people that I've just spoken to in the bar.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz for this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz for it. So yeah, let's see. But I think a match like this, you're right at the top of the girls' game, and it should be really, really good. And all the matches are so close, with the rankings just places apart in terms of international rankings. So yeah, good matchup for tonight.
Where do you think Hannah could get to in the world if she was today not in university?
Well, sometimes I look at players, and I think I can't put a limit on a player. It does depend on how madly they want to be full time, and Hannah's one of those. She I don't really have a limit in mind for Hannah. She can go as far as she wants to. She's mad keen on her squash. But you usually find that with people who get up and near the sort of top 30 in the world level, they're kind of the driven ones.
Yeah. So as you are coaching Hannah tonight, what have you talked to her about? What's the game plan going into this one?
I wouldn't say I've asked her to do anything specific to deal with Tesney. I, at the moment, really just it's a longer term goal. I wanted to have the complete game, the sort of good in all areas sort of thing. And I spend my time just making sure that when you say good in all areas, she doesn't have to think too hard to be good in all areas. She these things need to come naturally, so that you're literally just flowing through your game, making the right choices and so on. And it just gets there, it gets there. It just takes a bit of work, a little bit of time. I think it'd be hard for Hannah in her own country, really. There are so many girls and guys that are good players that, in terms of getting favourable treatment from their top coaches, their coaches, I'm almost inclined to think she might not be getting first choice of all that information. But she's enjoying her time here.
That's good. It's an interesting one, though, because these two teams are one of the... the interesting thing about the PSL is that it's slowly becoming more and more involved with local universities. So I didn't realise that University of West England was getting involved with the Bristol squad. And of course you've also got the new entrants to the Northern League this year, being Warwick and Kenilworth. So
yep.
It's interesting to see, because Birmingham, the university, are they involved as well?
Yeah, they're Birmingham Lions. They're called, and they've got a lot of players who either have been through Birmingham University. I think that's quite a bit of their connection there. So yeah, that's and down in the Southern Leagues, I think as well, isn't Surrey also put some money into one of the teams down there? So it's happening more and more.
It's an exciting thing. It's a good thing to see more and more funds being brought into the sport from universities, because you see, well, it's just good to see from our little sports perspective. So go on then.
So you spend a lot of time watching squash as well, and playing, of course.
Not like this, though. Yeah, I'm the vice president for the University of Nottingham Squash Society. It's a very fun role, but
yeah, getting students to do things on time. Yeah, it's about the most fun thing you can do.
Oh yeah, well you know all about that, involving training and organising all the activities that the club gets up to. So what's your guess for tonight? Scoreline on this one?
Difficult call. When I last did some commentating for the European individual championships, I called Greg Gaultier to beat James Willstrop in the final, and James beat Greg. So,
That's a great
do you think
match,
it's safe for me to actually?
I don't think. Well, if you bet against Hannah, I don't think she'll look you in the eye again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send my co-commentator on his way now. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, just to say that because I work with Hannah, I'm going to be sitting down, right down at floor level, and just giving her some advice and tips in between games, but I shall be back with you shortly.
And not to worry, our favourite head coach will be back for the second and third of our two fixtures this evening. So not too long without him.
Leslie Evans, Bristol to serve, and Ramadan, University of Nottingham to receive. Best of 5 games, love all.
Right, lights out and away we go. Kicks off the first match
1 love.
of the evening.
2 love.
Oh,
And out.
lovely shot from Hannah.
1-2.
Perhaps the first couple of rallies being a little bit of nerves for the first 2 players. That's a lovely finish from Hannah.
2-all.
But now they seem to be settling in. Lovely finish. It's of course going to be so important for these girls to keep very tight lines so that they can't volley. Take the ball, can't get the opportunity to take the ball early. Compared to some other players on the World Tour, of course, these two are fairly short, so it's important. The use of the lob is going to be such an important thing tonight.
Down. Hand out. 3-all. Down. 4-3.
It's a very nice ball control from Tesney, keeping Hannah stuck in that front corner. In these last couple of rallies, you've kind of seen Tesney be fairly dominant on the tee compared to Hannah. So, at least so far, early stages being. And that's the use of the lob that's potentially going to get Tesney out of trouble in a lot of occasions on this match. Because Hannah is quite, as we've seen, quite an attacking player.
Down. 4-all.
Very nice touch. This is a big rally.
And out. 5-4.
Very nice from Tesney. just as we're approaching the midpoint of this game, we're going to see some very big rallies, I think. Both of these girls controlling the ball very well across this side wall, but as soon as something goes tight at all, it's struck away. Yeah, as soon as anything goes anything other than glued to the wall, it's going straight into the front corner, and it's going to be, and it's being very, it is a very challenging thing for Hannah to have to deal with that at the moment. Oh, and that's a very lovely, that's a very nice change of direction.
5-6. And out.
One of the first errors so far.
Out.
Very smooth finish from Hannah.
7.
Too much time given to her and she can just put it away like that. Might not have been tight, but Tesney still didn't want to run for it. We're approaching a very even stage of this, coming towards the end, the late stage of the first game. Tesney with that slight advantage, 1 point. That's a good drop shot.
And out.
Good enough for Hannah at least.
8-6. Stroke to Bristol. 9-6.
Yeah, always going to be a stroke in the middle of the court. Hannah may be looking a little bit upset about it, but I think it's fair enough. That's just too loose. Maybe a bit annoyed at the previous point. Hannah brings Tesney from what was fairly even. I think it was 7-6, and she's gone straight through to 10-6 now. Perhaps a little bit more experience from Tesney, fighting a few more tournaments in her time, earning a high ranking. That's a very nice length from Hannah. That's the kind of work she needs to do. If she wants to beat Tesney tonight, really pull her into the corners. I think that's going to be the big battle because they've got fairly similar. They're fairly similar in stature, so the lob is going to be important. But dragging their opponent into those front corners is going to be a very big factor in this. Who has the who has the most accuracy going into the front, but also forcing perfect lengths into the back. And that ball being given in that rally. I'll just replay this point, and that is a fine winner from Hannah.
8-10, game ball.
Having that second bounce dying right into the backhand corner. A little bit ragged from both players there. Not finding the lines. Maybe looking a little bit more comfortable on the backhand, both of them. This is interesting. Nerves getting too much for Tesney there.
Right side.
That's a lovely replay. Just creeping down from Tesney. But quite a risky shot in that scenario when she's being off balance in that whole rally. Perhaps needed to reset instead, rather than attack immediately. That's a good change of direction, but Tesney's up to it, and that's
11-9, game to Bristol.
That's the punishment you get. If you're not going to go in perfect, then it's going to be... You're going to put yourself under a lot of risk to a counter drop, especially with someone like Tesney who can move fast into those front corners. So now we've got Tesney Evans leading against Hannah Ramadan. Bristol leads 1-0. And now we're here live on court 10, so this is catching up with... Unfortunately, we don't seem to have the score at the moment, but we're still in the first game of this match. So these two are Lewis Walters versus Tom Ford, of course. This will be the first time I've seen Lewis play, but he's just coming back from his time in at the University of Yale, so this is an interesting chance for him. One of his first... well, this will be his first moment with Nottingham PSL for quite some while. So a good chance for him to show his worth. So I've just received word from our director that we're going to go back on court 10, back to Hannah Ramadan and Tesney Evans.
Bristol lead 1-0.
So I'm sure Rich will have given plenty of words of wisdom for that one. In the end, close one, being 11-9. But work to do if she wants to avoid that pressure that you get when your opponent's on game ball. Just feels so much like you've got no chance to make any errors like that one. And that's be the important thing. How many errors is Hannah going to create tonight? Because that pressure from a higher ranked player... Oh, that's a lovely shot though. Never mind what I'm saying. But it can be a very daunting thing if you're playing someone who you believe is better, who is just going to keep coming back and back and back into the rally. You've got to be very mindful that you're not going too low against that kit. Oh God, that's a hell of a lunge into the front corner from Hannah. But a fine finish from Tesney. And now she's bringing herself up with a quick lead in this second game. Up to 3-1 now, I believe. So... she's doing very well on the occasions where she's given time on the ball to change the direction and send Tesney the wrong way. That's another good one. Another lovely shot. A great whip from Tesney, sending it very wide. But just fooling Tesney to thinking how it's going to go wrong. Got to be careful though, she doesn't open up the court too much. This is a lovely chance. That, as you can hear, the groans from the crowd was not what the doctor ordered for Hannah. And you can see the frustration on her face in that slow-mo replay. She knows what she should have been doing. She's got to be very careful that she doesn't leave the court too open, because at this point, Tesney with a 2-point advantage, 5-3. got to be very careful. So that this game doesn't just slip away from her. She's doing a good job of taking the ball early, but Tesney just with a slight error on that one. Slight miscalculation. New camera angle, lovely. That drop shot finishing very tight to the sidewall. Bit of a brave shot from Tesney to go for a boast from that. Couldn't quite pull it off. This one will be a slightly longer rally. And that's a very nice drop shot, very low to the 10.
5-all.
And Tesney not too happy about the movement though from Hannah by the looks of things. Play goes on. And that is another very nice shot, and this is the kind of work that she needs to do, pulling Tesney around the court. Going from she just pulled Tesney into 3 different corners and finally earning that point. And then we see the replay of the long drop shot and Hannah just putting it away nicely. Just that little bit too far for Tesney to move. Couldn't quite get the accuracy to get it above the 10. So all tied up in this second game. This will be a very important point just to get that little mental edge above your opponent. Brave move. Oh, and that's a very clever shot. Tesney going the complete opposite direction, going to the back left corner, and Hannah just slotting it right back in there. Very nicely done. You see the disappointment on Tesney. There's no bias on this one.
And out. 7-all.
Still, Tesney equalising. It's a close match between these two. And very competitive, especially given the surprising slightly, given the ranking, but or at least if you were to only look at the ranking. But that's great shot into the front corner and a great recovery. Nice flat cross court from Tesney, finishing off that rally very well. Neither player so far are making an awful lot of use of the lob, as I thought they might, but plenty of winners in the front corners.
8-all.
The stature of these two players being probably a slight contributing factor to that, knowing that it's difficult for these two, knowing that it's difficult for their opponent to move too easily into the front. Oh, but this will be an interesting.
9-8.
Yeah, and looks like a no-let given. Fair enough. So, Tesney pulling just ahead at the end of this second game. Be interesting to see, can she make use of this 1-point advantage? Slightly longer rally, taking a little bit longer to go into the front in previous ones, but it looks like we're just going to play a let on that, is it? Well, I'd give a let.
9-8.
Yeah, sounds like a let. Loose one. Can she finish? Oh, controversial.
Stroke to Nottingham.
Stroke to Nottingham.
And out.
Tesney not very happy about that. She'll have to recover quickly if she wants to make use of this second game, capitalise on her opportunity to take it to love league. Although sometimes class is just gonna outshine you, whether you recover from a tantrum or not. Tantrum is a bit harsh, but.
And out. 10-all. Play must win by 2 points.
Oh, this is a very interesting one now. Looks like Tesney got an equaliser in that one, so now player to win by 2 clear points. Massive game now. All to play for. Such a difference between 1-all and 2 love down.
Oof. 11-10. Game ball.
Massive point coming up now. Massive point. Both players. Tesney will not want to let this one go. Will she go for a clever serve down at the volley? No. Not risking it. Pace of these rallies going up a little bit.
Out.
And
12-10.
that was just squeezed out of court by Tesney. So that's it. And Tesney takes a 2 games to love advantage in this match. And I think very shortly we'll be moving back to, here we go, court 9. Lovely, lovely finish from Lewis. So I've just received word that Bristol is 2 love up on this game, on this match rather, on court 9. So it looks like Lewis has got it all to do to come back on this one. And if this game doesn't equalise, then Nottingham are going to be in a lot of trouble in this match. With the other 2 matches, the one on this court being Richie Fallows versus... I don't have the other name for that one. But we are dealing with a... That one's going to be a very interesting match to find out the result for. Because those 2 players are both full-time professional players who are ranked within 4 ranking points of each other, so it should be an absolute belter.
$15 seconds. Bristol lead, 2 games to love.
Okay. And we're back with Hannah versus Tesney.
Love all.
So Hannah's got it all to do in this one. Nice kill to start off this game, but she's going to have to put in a lot of work if she's going to come back from this one. Now we'll see, will the talent of Tesney, will she show her ranking and finish off the game in 3, or will there be that lapse in concentration that comes with 2 very close games? Previously, first being 11-9 and the second being 12-10. It's of course a very mentally draining thing when you're, playing chess on legs, sometimes call it. So it'll be a big challenge for Tesney to see if she can finish off the match. Oh, but that's a fantastic shot from Hannah. She's been using that. Was that the second, third? No, it's the third time I think she's used that shot. Just taking the ball cross court. From very high up. Very nice shot. It's taking Tesney out very nicely. Trouble now, loose drop. Very well finished from Tesney.
1-4.
Very calm, very composed, finishing that rally very nicely.
Down.
Now the errors.
2-4.
The error comes from Hannah's racket. She's not very happy about it by the looks. But she's going to have to put in a lot of work, keep that mental edge if she wants to come back from too low. I mean, it'll be very important, being this is a league format, for her to get even just a game. Of course, earning points for every game you get, so... What a recovery from Hannah. Oh, and she's back into the rally. Some stunning movement, but that's going to be horrifically tiring. If she wins this, she's going to be a very happy bunny. Oh, but that's a fantastic winner. Lovely little drop.
Right.
Knowing the positioning of Hannah very well and just moving it into the opposite corner, staying on that tee, taking her space, taking her position, and just slotting that ball in. And that's well finished from Hannah. Touche. Very good bows to set up the easy kill shot.
Yes, lad.
Maybe a little bit.
5-3.
A little bit friendly. Yeah, you could argue that Hannah could go through to that and the ball's quite tight, but maybe a fair decision being on that. But that one's definitely a stroke, so if the law of averages is right, then I guess that one was an outlet after all. You can just see Hannah aiming for that width that hits the sidewall just behind the service box, or just at the end, just at the back of the service box on the sidewall. Just it's very hard for Tesney to volley, but this so far was a brilliant rally. But Tesney just feeling the pressure, feeling Hannah on her shoulder.
6-4.
The error coming from her racket. So Hannah's got a 2-point advantage in this game, which is the first time she's led compared to the first two games.
Yes, lad.
Let given on that one.
6-4.
Although you'd have to say, well, I'd have given an no-let. I'd have given a no-let. Ooh, another flick. Oh, that's a fantastic drop shot. This is a great rally. Great reflexes. Oh, what a winner. Hannah could be very happy with that. That was a fantastic rally from both players. Finally finishing off with a lovely flat kill that she'd been using all game off that volley.
And out.
Very nicely done.
5-7.
Hannah maintaining that 2-point advantage. Is she asking?
6-7.
No? Fair enough. I would have given a no that, but it's all good. Big chance. Oh, what movement. Hannah with some fantastic movement into that corner. That pressure, that knowledge that Hannah
8-6.
can lunge so far into those corners from such a distance means that Tesney is going to have to go lower and lower to get those winners. And proof is in the pudding. Came out with an error just a moment ago. This rally, some very accurate work down the back wall from Hannah, but that's got to be on that. Tesney doesn't think so. I think we should show the replay.
Yes, let's.
But I reckon
Right
Hannah
side.
could have got that if Tesney wasn't there. So that ball being played, fair enough. Tesney's still not happy.
8-6.
Ooh, and another error coming from the racket of Tesney.
9-6.
I think she might be getting a bit flustered with the decision first going against her and the knowledge that Hannah's movement is on form tonight. Very nice low shot from Hannah, a great recovery, and we're back into normal play. And there's the use of the lob to give her plenty of time, just overhit slightly. Slightly loose from both players in that one, that exchange in the front. But that is a fantastic drop shot from Tesney. Well done, Tesney Evans.
7-9.
You can see that she was limiting her own swing, a bit worried of hitting Hannah, but still played the shot. It's lovely to see that she didn't want to take the stroke on that one. Still played the shot and came out with a fantastic winner, knowing exactly where Hannah is, putting it right back into the corner, into the right-hand front corner. But now Hannah still with a 2-point advantage.
Yes, let's.
Let ball being given on that. Neither player very happy with the referees this evening.
Now. And out. 10-7. Game ball.
All right, big point for Hannah now. She's got a three game balls to take this one into a fourth. Big opportunity. Oh, that's a lovely change of pace. Possibly the wrong shot there. Such a big rally. Already a lot of pressure being put onto Tesney, but now that she's recovered, it's time for both players to reset. Does Hannah want a stroke for that? Thought she was walking to the door.
Yes, let's.
I think we're playing a let ball, are we on that?
Game ball.
Yeah, 10-7 still. Let ball being played. Both players got to reset now. That rally.
10-7. Game ball.
That rally proving difficult for both players on court there. Both of them under threat. This is a good thing about when you see people of such high quality. They're able to reset a rally and be under pressure multiple times in the round, but still carry on, still recover, still reset. Oh, and Hannah goes for that cross-court kill that's been working for her all game.
And out.
Balls down.
8-10. Game ball.
Hand out 8-10. Still with 2 game balls, Hannah, but with that long exchange, and it's been a while since the last point, so any momentum that she might have had.
No let.
May just be gone, and that is a very interesting decision from the ref. I can't help but think that the ref has seen that it's pretty obvious Hannah's hoping for a stroke there. She walks straight to the door to walk off court straight away. But can't help but think that the referee's seen Hannah expressing that she wanted a stroke and said no let, which I think is not really fair, because when you've got a ball coming at you in that situation off the back wall, then you're kind of keeping all your focus on the ball, so you're not entirely aware of where your opponent is.
Yes, let.
Oh, but a let ball being played on this one.
Game ball.
I'd have given a let on the last one and a no let on that one. Big rally now, big rally. Tesney's got to equalise and bring it. Oh, that's a lovely finish. Fantastic shot just to finish off that rally. Finish off that game. Fight back is on. Tesney leads 2 games to 1. Looks like the last match is over, so based on timings, I'm going to guess that Bristol are now 1 game up. Sorry, I mean 1 matchup. Yeah, so that one was 3 games to love. Bristol leading 1 match to love. Overall, or 1 set to love. Now we do have a fight on our hands with Hannah and Tesney. Last game, well, every game has been close, of course. 11-9, 12-10, and now this one 11-9 the other direction. So this one turning out to be quite a cracker, especially in terms of scoreline. Some lovely shots coming in from both players, very accurate drop shots. A couple of errors just sneaking in, and a couple of discussions with the referee not helping either player, you'd have to say, because I think both have lost the next rally if they've had a word with the ref. But still, fine spirit. You can tell 2 very emotional players on court. You've got to potentially take into account the mental abilities of these players.
Bristol lead, 2 games to 1. Nottingham to serve.
So, will Tesney Evans be able to close it out in 4? Or is Hannah going to bring that momentum with her to take the win?
Stroke to Nottingham, 1
stroke, so a good start for Hannah. Good shot into the front corner, very tight, forcing with the loose scramble back. That's a loose drop shot and put under a lot of pressure. And a good rally from Tesney. So both these girls up for it. Definitely want to win this game. But who will crack first? Another exchange in that front left-hand corner.
2-1.
that results in a decision from the referee. So.
And out, 2-all.
Lovely length from Hannah.
Yes, let. 2-all.
Fair enough. No easy points for Tesney. Didn't want one. Just has to put that cross-court kill that was working so well for Hannah in the first couple of games. Ah, and a lovely finish.
And out.
Yeah, that backhand
3-2.
kill shot off the volley, not coming off for Hannah at the moment. I think Tesney is just using that height well enough. Well enough to keep out of the range of
4-2.
Hannah's danger zone. At around shoulder height. So it's taken an early 4-2 lead now.
Down.
Oh, early 5-2 lead. Make that.
5-2.
Hannah's got to stay very strong if she wants to come back at Tesney, and she can't afford simple errors like that. She's got to reset, get some basic length. She's doing well at the moment. This will be a good chance in this rally just to reset herself, find her range, come back and start putting pressure on Tesney.
Yes,
And that is a stroke. Stroke given. I think fair enough. The ball was just coming straight back and she cleared out. And the ball just followed her, so. Not a lot of chance. Not a lot of chance for Hannah to play that one. But Tesney very upset now that the doors come off.
Right side.
I would have said that Tesney had the advantage at the beginning stage of this game, but... Oh no, let being given, my bad. Apologies, everyone. I suppose Tesney wanted a no-let. Oh, that's a lovely finish. Those can go so badly if you're not, if you're not very careful. That was a lovely opportunity, very awkward to play that. Leaning forward on sort of the wrong leg, on an awkward leg. A very difficult angle, but finishing it very well. Hannah. But opening the court up a little bit too much when she's under pressure. Trying to go and flick it cross court, but Tesney's all over it and puts in a lovely drop shot that just ends the rally. Just because Hannah's too far out of position. Be very careful when she uses those kind of shots because they worked well in the first game.
7-3.
But now, Tesney looks like she's gotten wise to it. So she's taken a big lead now. And you'd have to say it looks like it's going to go to Tesney unless Hannah can pull something out of the bag. But with a boast like that, it's going to be very difficult for her to reset.
Right. 8-3.
Not finding a lot of time on the tee. Not being allowed much time. Always being kept on the move. Just not quite finding her length, not quite finding the drop shots to cut deep enough into the corners, spraying out a little bit. Yeah, it's not going well for Hannah at the moment. And there's the flick. That's the difference between those two rallies. The one before with the flick that Tesney took advantage of, and this one where Hannah had plenty of time on the ball, was on it fast, looked like she could have played any shot from that angle, and went for a perfect cross-court drop shot. Ooh.
And out.
God, I'm glad I can't do that.
Match ball.
drop.
Up.
A bit of a scoop. Or a double hit.
And
Or
out.
something. Maybe didn't even
5-10.
reach the
Match
front
ball.
wall. Yeah, there you go. Too tight. Too tight from Hannah, forcing the error out of Tesney. There's that flick cross court that I was talking about from the first game, but again, the issue is Tesney is now putting a little bit more height on those balls that are going, that Hannah's having the opportunity to take.
Game match to Bristol.
Feeding
Bristol
Tesney,
win
and that
3 games to 1. 11-9, 12-10,
that's the match.
9-11, 11-5.
3-1 to Tesney Evans. Quality game from the two of them, and neither of them wanting to leave the court first. Very well played from those two. So I think now we'll be going back on to court 9 to watch the remainder of this match. So next match on the show court, our main broadcast will be between Declan James and Yusuf Solomon. So again, these two are Richie Fallows playing for Nottingham and Josh Masters playing for Bristol. And again, these two are so closely ranked. Only 4 points between them in the 60s in the world. So perhaps not only for the pride of their club they're playing for, but a little bit of bragging rights. But Richie not looking too happy with the decision. By the looks of things, he feels like he was crowded out or forced into his opponent, well, as he was trying to clear, and Josh keeping him in position. Oh no. I thought the last point was a stroke. Guess not. Lovely clean striking of the ball from these two. It's a pleasure to watch him play, and that is a fantastic kill out of Richie. So, okay, so I've just been told by our director that the score in this one is 4-3 to Nottingham. Oof. An error coming from the racket of Josh Masters. And this is only the first game as well, to confirm. Oof, lovely shot, lovely drop from the back. So that brings the score up to, I think, 4-6 now, I believe. I'm afraid we don't have graphics for this one. And just to confirm, now the score is 6-5 in favour of Bristol. And a nice kill coming from our local Nottingham player, Richie Fallows. Bringing the score up to 6-all now. Oh, cheeky flick out of Josh Masters. Very nice squash. Still wants to play the ball, but makes the error. And that is a well-controlled rally out of Richie. Forcing his opponent into the front corner, around him, and then back into the left-hand corner to finish that. Forcing him to play that shot. Now Richie's 8-6 up in this one. So he's got a big chance to capitalise the first game, and that's got to be on there, surely. Second bounce in the nick, very low, very nice shot. So 9-6 up, they were even up to 6-all, but Richie getting a run of points now, so he's got a big opportunity to take the first game. It's such an important one, but that's a lovely little, low, flat kind of kill drop. Brings it up to 7-9. And that's a very, very easy error to give away. Now, game ball to Richie to give himself a 1-love lead in this fourth string match. And that is all she wrote. That is 1-love to Nottingham. Lovely drop shot to finish off the game. So the next match, we are ready on court 10, the show court for the evening, with Declan James representing the University of Nottingham and Yusuf Solomon representing University of West England and Elite Squash Bristol. So all to do in this one. Both Richie Fallows and Declan James needing to win tonight in order to have a chance of pulling through for the full victory this evening. Of course, after this match, the match on this court, we will be showcasing Nick Matthew versus Marwin El Shabaghi, the number 4 in the world against the number 6 in the world. Three-time world champion against the one-time junior world champion. But this one, Declan James. Unfortunately, I have to say I don't know an awful lot about Yusuf Solomon, about his background, but I believe he's the underdog in this match, with Dec being ranked around 10 to 20 places ahead of him in the world rankings. Lovely camera angle. So here we see the result of the first two fixtures of tonight's play. Hannah losing out to Tesney in 3-1. Not completely unexpected, but putting up a very, very solid performance for the first three games, and perhaps just losing her edge mentally a little bit in the fourth. Not that you can blame her, playing 3 games in a row that end within 2 points is a very challenging thing to back up on, especially when you're the underdog. You know you've got to
James, University of Nottingham to serve.
You've got to pull through, and it's a very difficult thing to come back from. And unfortunately we couldn't catch most of the other match. But now we're bringing you Declan James versus Yusuf Solomon. Oh, and a very, very nice start from Solomon. Just setting out his stall nicely. Shows he's got a lot of confidence for this match.
2-love.
Yusuf taking a very early lead on this one. I think Deck's just got to settle into this game a little bit before he can start to show what he's made of. Don't forget, of course, the crowd everyone's playing in front of tonight is it's a decent crowd. It's packed to the rafters. And it looks like I'm being joined again by my co-commentator. How are you, Rich?
Yeah, back again. That was stressful as a coach. Working it through, she...
Oh. Sorry, I just sort of threw the leg shot from Deck.
She has high expectations, and you
Handout
get upset
1-3.
when things don't go quite like they did in practice.
It's a challenge, isn't it? I bet. Do you think the rankings came into it? She wanted, well, the pressure of trying to show her worth.
Handout
No,
4-1.
no, not at all. I was actually really pleased with things that we've been working on, except for a couple of areas, and generally I think it was positive, but in the nature of the beast, she's like never satisfied.
5-1.
Yeah, you never are.
But good stuff to work on.
Yeah. Certainly. I was noticing in her match, in the first couple of games, she was making a very good use of when the ball was shoulder high, cross court, low, flat, kill on the volley. But just towards the end of the match, the balls that she was hitting, well, the balls that she was trying to hit were coming at her with a little bit more height, which meant that she wasn't able to attack them nearly as well, which potentially made some of the winners that she was winning in the first not as good or not as effective as later on.
Yeah, sometimes difficult to cast your mind back, but really, after the first game, her length was poor when she was hitting hard, but good when she was hitting high. But she just had an error rate. But then Desney had the more errors in the third game.
It was a great match all in.
Yeah, it was good.
Right. Time now for a fight back from Deck James, though. Coming from 6-1 down, but a very nice finish in that rally.
Deck's had some good results recently.
No let. Handout 7-2.
What's your pick for this night, for this match?
Well, I'd have thought this was our tie, Nottingham's tie, and Deck usually raises himself for the local crowd, and
Being a local boy in his home club, it's a big factor.
sometimes just takes time to settle in. I've seen him just working himself into a match.
He was struggling at the start of this one, and it looks like Yusuf Solomon is taking a fairly commanding lead in this game, in this first. It looks like he's got... I explained before, I haven't seen a lot of Yusuf's play before, but he's got seemingly quite an unorthodox technique, which makes him very tricky to read in certain areas of the court.
He's been tight. He's won on quite a few tight shots. But this is not one to come back from, I don't think.
Yeah, time to reset.
Yeah.
Lovely lob to get out of trouble there. Heavy movement. Finishes the rally.
Left side, 10-2. Left. Left.
Not a great start for Deck
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
one.
sorry, 10.
Only 6 minutes long this match. I'm sure he would have hoped for longer. Just to help him settle in. For one thing, 6 minutes is very short.
Handout 3-10.
Yusuf is benefiting, I reckon, from Marwan Al-Shabagi, and
Oh, of course. So are they both? I know Marwan's a student at UWE.
Game to Bristol. Bristol lead. One
Yusuf
game to love.
finishing off that rally, that game in stylish fashion.
so what I saw there, probably 4 or 5 tight finishes from Yusuf, playing a lot to the front and keeping Declan really working.
Yeah, it was hard to complain about the scoreline, but he was playing very well in that game, forcing a few errors and Deck just not quite finding his range. So Richie's one game up in this one, I believe, at the moment. Just waiting to hear the score. Big decision.
It's a good shot. Very difficult to call that for a referee.
Yeah, I'd have gone for the mid ground, just give it a let.
Bristol lead. One game to love. Love all.
You can't coach that shot.
So let's see what Deck usually plays a slightly faster pace, and he's catching a lot of side wall and the ball coming out into the service box area, and that's not like him.
No, but it's a nice start to this rally. He's setting out his stall. Ooh, I was going to say keeping his opponent in the back, but that is a ripper.
Hand out. One love.
Straight from the back of the court. Taking Solomon completely by surprise. Ooh, another lovely finish. I thought he got it.
2 love.
Declan's got such a calm style. Sometimes you can't imagine him getting all emotional on the court. Just,
Yeah, can't remember an argument with the ref. But that said, sod's law, I know we'll see it.
it's a great tight ball. And good angle for us to see down this wall.
Yeah, I like it. It's very good. Lots of play on that backhand. Ooh.
Yes, let. 2 love. Left side.
Solomon slightly struggling with his laces today.
They're great for getting a rest if they keep popping open.
No complaints, I'm sure. And that is well picked off. Loose cross court granted, but as a fantastic finish. No chance from Yusuf. Similar finish to Declan.
Yeah,
Down,
they're both
1-3.
inclined to go for those long kills.
Is anybody got a towel? Floor, please.
Yeah. Yeah, what happens on a day like today, which hasn't been a cold day, it's been
Yeah, it's been fairly warm to be fair. Just a little bit
fairly warm, and then when you've got a big crowd of people breathing hot air in there,
2-3.
you get condensation and obviously sweating from the players, but you get condensation as well on the walls.
Yeah, the walls can be a nightmare on these. Oh, what a... Was that good? Oh, no, guess not.
3-all.
Yeah, the walls can be a nightmare on these traditional courts. Sweat.
That was a risky one.
Yeah.
Hand
Bit
down.
close to him.
4-3.
Not far off.
Oh, loose.
Yeah. He wouldn't have done that if you were coaching him. Oof. Very nice. I love how nowadays, it's so standard in the sport. This is actually kind of a rally. Great rally. And well deserved round of applause from the crowd.
Just end up with a few tight ones just to restrict Yusuf.
He gets a little bit loose and gets that chance.
Yeah, he just hits far enough past him to be nicely
Nope.
a nice obstacle.
You can't get the staff, can you?
Just do a little assessment and see if we can have him on the staff here.
Bit of a big commute from Bristol, but you know, might be worth it. It's not quite the US Open, is it?
Thank you.
So with the slender lead probably tightening up a little bit.
5-3.
Declan slowly finding his range there. Put a few good short ones in.
Making a much better show of it this game rather. Definitely found his range now. He's keeping a bit more control out of Solomon, keeping him in the back corners a little bit more.
Yeah,
No let.
Oh, no that.
Hand out.
I agree with you.
4-5.
That's a
there's
bit of a shocker. It
one
looked like
step and hit.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly tight. Oh, very tight ball from Beck. That's a nice flick. And a very good finish.
It's difficult to take low down.
5-all.
There's that split second where you see how low it is above the tin. You think, right, this has a chance of being a great shot. And then it just hits that nick and rolls out. And you think, yeah, he's nailed that. Rally over. Lovely shot from Solomon.
Yes let. 5-all.
And with that, of course, he's equalised the scoreline in this one. 5-all as we reach the midpoint. Both players making good use of height. Let's say, right on cue. They're keeping each other on their toes.
Nice hold. I think Dex improved what he's doing up front and he's putting the short drop shots in.
6-5.
And they're tight enough now. He's getting some advantage there.
Yeah,
And that he's quite steady on his length and he's tightened up a little bit. He's not hitting the sidewall as much.
No, he's not giving Yusuf the opportunities and he's tidying up himself, so it's
A lovely long hold there.
lost the ball. So I'm just being told that it took out one of the strip lights in the roof, so. Great shot. And there we go. You're back in the room.
Seven, 5.
So just as I say, he was taking equalising on points. Dex got the 2-point advantage back.
Yes, let 7-5.
Yeah, fair enough. You give a let?
Yeah.
Simple traffic issue.
Down. Hand out 6-7.
Poor error.
Tidied up that area.
7-all.
I think he felt the pressure of Yusuf on his back and error just squeezed again.
8-7.
His run-off points just given away to Solomon. And another. This
9-7.
can't afford to make these kind of mistakes. I mean, that's 3 errors in a row that's now given Yusuf the lead. And of course, if he wins this match, Yusuf Solomon, then that is the match for the whole night.
Hand out 8-9.
And there's Richie Fallows.
Where do you get that match?
Let me find out for you.
Hand out 10-8. Game ball.
So, big point here for Yusuf. Taking a
Hand
2-love
out,
lead is going to
9-10
be
game
vital.
ball.
So just to confirm, Nottingham won the last game 3-love, so the score now is Nottingham 1, Bristol 2 overall.
Yes, let 9-10. Game ball.
Potential bias from the referee, eh?
He's clear a long way. I think he was probably clear, and probably Yusuf should have had a pop at that one.
Don't blame him for trying though. Oh, that's a very nice long drop shot. And that is a fantastic finish. Great finish to bring it to 10-all.
That had to be super cool. And
10-all. Player must
And it
score by
was.
2 points.
So it's given himself that extra lifeline now. With both players trying to take control of that tee area now in this massive rally. It's a huge rally. Massive chance.
Yes, let 10-all. Left side.
Let ball given.
close run thing, that, because he got nudged with the hip a little bit on his way through.
Yeah.
And almost seemed to shape to play the ball.
And that ball ran a little bit far back, so it was a close call. The decision is not running in the favour of Solomon tonight so far, at least in this game. Big chance now. Okay.
Good.
Handouts. 11-10. Game ball.
So now this will be game ball number 3. Was he 10-8 up?
11-10.
No, was he 8-10 up when he first got that game ball? Ooh, that's nasty. Oh, that's a nasty slip.
I think there's a lot of sweat on the floor.
I don't think Yusuf's going to want to do the... Ooh! Just leg coming out from under him.
Sort the floor out, please.
Lucky it went to the side and
Not
not
safe.
straight on, because that could have torn something nasty. Well, we can get the staff. Understandably, Yusuf not wanting to take the role again. Certainly hope he's okay. So, you've seen this whole game so far. When we come back from the break, 11-all. We'll have a break now for these players. We'll give both these players a chance to catch their breath again and reset. Who do you think's got the advantage?
The mental control, just the coolness. They're both experienced players on the world stage, and you'd expect them both to have it. But this can just so often happen with certain certain atmospheric conditions. And as I said, it's been a warmish day, probably high humidity. And
there we have that replay again. Yeah, he's lucky that his leg kind of broke to his left, rather than carrying on straight through into the corner. So rather than fully extending the muscle, his foot kind of broke out in front of him, which meant that he lost the point. But no, thankfully, looks like he's got no real damage.
pretty vital stage, really.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. This break is going to really affect the players. You can see Deck trying to make sure he doesn't lose that mental edge, doesn't forget how to hit the ball.
Well, it makes it interesting, especially because Richie Fellows won that game for Nottingham.
Definitely.
And, we were always going to be slight favourites in the number 1 and 2 positions, but Yusuf's making it tough for our number 2.
Certainly, which means Nottingham has the comeback potential
11-all.
now, but it all does depend on this match and potentially the next one. So, underway again, both players ready to take on the challenge. Oh, first the 2 points clear now. Good start for Deck. Solomon still not looking completely comfortable. Having a look at his and stretching his leg. That's a very nice shot from Deck. Second bounce right underneath the right before the sidewall.
Have we got any more dry towels down there?
Yusuf having something to complain about at the moment.
I wonder what he's done.
I wonder if he's asking for another court wipe. I know he's playing with his knee, but...
Are you bleeding, Youssef?
Oh, he's bleeding, I see. Informed that he's bleeding, so... I believe he's got as long as it takes to stop the bleeding before he comes back on court.
Yeah.
So, another nice break.
You do have to stop bleeding once and for all. It's not allowed to reoccur.
Yes.
In the same spot.
Yeah, just punch someone else in the nose after they've got a bloody knee and claim the game. But now, of course, it was equal going into a long break, but now Deck has a 1 point advantage. Well, yeah, game ball to equalise, and of course equalising is going to be so important for Deck's Deck to mount a challenge in this match, rather than going 2-love down. So Yusuf certainly has an uphill struggle coming when he comes back on court again. So there, just to confirm, the 5th seed at Hannah Ramadan and Tesney Evans was 1-3 in the favour of Bristol. Lewis Walters lost 3-love to Tom Ford, putting Bristol 2-love up. We had Richie Fallows versus Josh Masters, which was in fact the 3rd string, despite the order, which he won 3-love, which puts Nottingham at 1 point on the board. And now we have Declan against Yusuf Solomon. Solomon being 1 game to love up, but Declan now having game ball in the 2nd. So I think, as we can see from the crowd being allowed to leave and such, it looks like we're going to have a brief break while we wait for the bleeding to stop. And we will return shortly.
So as you see, with the lack of action caused by a blood injury, which requires sorting fully before coming back on court, and that's Yusuf Solomon had a little bit of a fall on their own sweat, really. It's one of those days where the humidity conditions slightly warm and a lot of people breathing in and out, and it's very hot for the players, and the water doesn't really dry on the court. If you look down at the back ends of the court, both left and right, you'll see dots on the floor. Those are dots of sweat, and they can be treacherous when you're moving at the speed that these guys move at. It's at a vital stage in the second game. Declan James being 12-11 up and 1 game down, so vital for Nottingham, well, vital for both. We do hope that Yusuf hasn't got any other injury apart from the blood injury because of that fall. So a lot of the spectators that you see will have enjoyed the extended break, maybe got themselves a fresh pint just to enjoy the last match and a half. There are no more matches on the other court, so all the action takes place here. So this is where it all gets decided. Referee coming up would have just been checking on the state of play with looking after that wound. See, in the interest of the playing professional, you get as much time as you need really to get the wound dealt with. There's only one proviso, that if the same wound, whatever bandaging you use, if that comes off and the wound starts to bleed again, then that player is penalised for not looking after that properly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Solomon
Sounds harsh, but
hoping to be back on court in the next 10 minutes.
The announcement of 10 minutes delay. Should definitely get the court a little bit of time to dry out. Some of those spots tend to fade down below. When they get back on court, they will need just to warm that ball up a little bit, just to get it up to playing speed. So until then, we'll leave you looking at the crowd scene.
Could Nick Hargrave come to courtside, please? Nick.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we apologise for this small interim. Youssef is struggling. He's being assessed at the moment. He's still hopeful to play, but obviously, you know, he has to be careful, and we're just making absolutely sure that he's going to be okay to continue. We're going to ask for your patience and another 5 minutes, please, but we will have a decision for you soon.
Okay, everyone, we are back live with our second seed match tonight. Declan James versus Yusuf Solomon. Bristol currently 2-1 up against Nottingham. But in this match in particular, Yusuf is winning 1 game to love, but Declan has game ball as we return to this game. Just to confirm with you guys, Yusuf, in fact, did not have a blood injury, but was allowed extra time just to recover from overstretching a muscle. And here we can see it now. Oh, it does look very nasty. But he just had some ice on it for a few minutes, and looks like he's back and ready to go.
Yeah, this could end up being the crucial match of the night. Not particularly playing well in the first game, battling it out and getting to the point where it would level the match.
Certainly could.
When we looked earlier, there was a lot of sweat on the court. It looks like some of those dots have dried up a little bit, but I can assure you, walking around the gallery there, it's really warm. 150 people.
Birmingham lead 1 game to love.
Warm bodies in a small space. And,
12-11.
Not a lot of chance for that heat to dissipate, so that court is going to be very toasty. I'd imagine neither player wanting to go too short, too quick.
It's their own fault for sweating so much,
12-11
really.
from the left.
Oh, wow. Have to agree there. Well, a clever serve from Decked as he has game ball. So this, of course, a very tense moment. Now, neither player wants
to. It's a true test of a pro, you know, you come back to the court.
So 15 minutes off, yeah. Massive rally, neither player wanting to lose it, of course. But so much on the line from no start, no warm-up, as it were, or no practice, kind of, to get you back into the match swing of things. Oh. Brave move from Deck, that shot, love that.
Yes, left.
Yes, let being given for that ball.
No one's giving an inch in this rally.
No, it's a very good rally to open up again. Very hard. Of course, these players will be plenty fresh after a 15-minute break. Deck had an opportunity there, but slightly gave it away. Massive battle going there. Was the ball good?
I was unsure.
Looked good from my eyes. What do you think, Rich?
I think it's all
Hand
clear
down.
white
12 all.
between the ball and the red line.
Yeah. Yeah, ball being deemed as good, so Yusuf Solomon equalises in this game, so back to parity. Oh, very nice shot. Is that
No
an
left,
given?
hand out. 13-12.
13-12.
This will be interesting. This is where the referee should see where the ball bounces for the second time.
Yeah, you got to question, was he ready to play it? Did he?
With the benefit of a replay, let's say.
Yeah, it would be nice to get that again.
13-12 game ball.
No, it looks like we can't get that replay, unfortunately. but a very important shot, very brave shot from Deck to finish that rally. But it paid off in the end. Neither player wanted to give an inch, but it looks like
13-12, game ball.
let being given. You can feel the tension in this. I know.
And he makes another mistake.
Handout, 13.
He was making plenty of those in
The first game, this is the story of his nights, the making so short one.
well, in the past, he's always slightly been known as a bit of a shot player, so that's very good. That is brilliant. Forget very good.
His fast movement into the front, like now,
That body positioning was very nice.
that's a very accurate finish.
Yeah, shaped up really nicely for that. Like he was facing the entire, completely the wrong way, but shaped up perfectly to take that ball in. Very good finish. But this game, this is a cracker. To come back from injury like this and keep fighting off game ball as Yusuf Solomon is, it's a very hard thing to do. Remind me, did Deck have... Ooh, error being made and another.
Right.
Once again,
Handout,
back to
14 all.
It's a bit awkward being right by his legs.
No let, 15-14.
Quick kill
Game
with a
ball.
lot of cut on it. It stopped really short.
But now he's first off. This is his first. Is this his first game ball?
Yep.
So
This
massive,
for 2-love.
massive chance. Big decision.
Yes let, 15.
Yes, let being played.
Game ball.
Oh, waiting with bated breath.
That was close.
Yeah. But will he take it? This is first. Oh, it's a great shot. Never mind, he won't take it on his first opportunity.
Right, that was good because
Handout,
watch how tight the ball
15 all.
goes when he hits it down.
He plays it with so much
It
power.
drifts into the sidewall. Look at that. Just at that moment when the opponent gets there.
And his body position, the way he played it so fast, meant that it came. Yusuf had to sort of run around his body to get to it, which meant he was so rushed when he got to the ball. And being so tight, difficult to do anything with it. Oh, quick fire rate on that. Oh, very good finish. So, 16-15. This game is almost turning into 2.
16-15.
Yeah,
Game
quick
ball.
exchange. That's a very good shot.
Very good.
This one coming forward
Very quick
now.
fire.
This is quick fire.
Yes let, 16 all. 16-15. Game ball.
So, as we said, about 10 points ago,
Who would have thought?
massive chance and he squanders it.
A night of errors for him.
Handout, 16 all.
No kidding. I mean, he's a shot player, so he makes some ridiculous winners sometimes, but not all of them coming off tonight. Very mixed. Nice recovery, being very deep in that corner. Big rally this. chance. And Deck Smith.
Stroke to Nottingham.
Stroke to Nottingham. And a racket throw to go with it.
17-16.
And the loose ball, of course, can't necessarily swing that shot. It's a bit
Game ball.
swing on that one. It's a bit close to him.
17-16.
Stroke being given. And now Deck James has another match ball, game ball in this second game. I mean, the length of this one is, if you exclude the break, has basically been a game on its own. And the mental pressure on both of these players to keep backing up, knowing that, you know, 2-point advantage is all that is needed to take the whole game at this point. This might be very difficult to come back from, whoever loses it. And as a reminder, of course, Bristol are 2 up, and that is a really good shot from Yusuf Solomon.
Handout 17 all.
Right on the wall.
Yeah. The way it fades onto the side wall, and just as Deck tries to hit it. Oh, this is a brute of a match. 17 all, and both players looking like they really, really want this. Nice reactions, but there goes the error. And another. How many times, exactly? And this is Yusuf's second. Oh! Oh! Unbelievable, Jeff.
Handouts 18 all.
That is some confidence from Declan James.
Can we have the door open again, please?
Fair enough of Yusuf wanting the floor to be swept again. I don't think anyone wants to see a repeat of that incident from earlier. And just to help with the heat, we've got the door now opened on the right-hand side, so I wonder if that will affect the amount in which these players are going to take the ball in short, with the court potentially cooling down a little bit. So for any of those who don't know too much about squash, of course, the harder you hit the ball, the warmer it gets. And there is a very fortunate winner from Declan James, rolling out the back nick.
Bit of luck.
Never hurts, does it? But yes, for any non-squashers players out there, the warmer the court is, the warmer the ball stays, and the warmer the ball is, the bouncier it is. So the riskier it gets to take those balls into the front corners. Because it just gives your opponent more time.
Yes, left, 19-18.
Ooh, and a let ball being given. What would you have done there, Rich?
Yeah, let.
Left side.
Now, the issue isn't really the fact that it's bouncy. That they can cope with. It's just condensation again. So do their best to cool things down.
Brave move from Deck. Put him under a lot of pressure this rally.
Yes, left, 19-18.
Yes, look coming from it. Perhaps a little bit cheeky from Deck, because that was a very tight ball in the end. Perhaps he didn't want to play it. But enough interference in the end.
Tight, there was really high drop shots.
Massive rally this. Still game ball.
Yes, let.
Yes, let being given. It just looks like Deck is really hunting for this, and Yusuf looks a little bit passive in these rallies. Not quite being as positive, taking the ball in short as much as Deck is, or at least with not with as much confidence. Very good. This is a knackering rally.
Yeah, Yusuf doing quite a lot of work.
Yeah, this is such a great match.
Stroke.
And that is a stroke to Nottingham. Declan James takes the second game and equalises the score in 20 to 18.
1 game all.
The score is 1 game all.
Everybody, 2 for the price of 1 that game. I think not only does that equalise things, but you know, Declan sort of probably feels they're a little bit more settled into the match, satisfied with that, and then I'd say he's going to get himself into a higher state.
It was a very good match for Deck, eventually closing it out, but very mentally draining for both players, so they'll have to really reset after that, especially after almost completely fighting 2 matches in 1, 2 games in 1. And while they're off, we can see the scores from the other venues. So Birmingham are now 2-2 against Warwick, so that'll be an interesting one. Decider match now being played. And Bexley already taking the 3-0 against Chichester. RAC taking 3-2 against Coolhurst, so another close match down in the South League.
It's a lot tougher north of Watford Gap, isn't it?
Bristol still make the journey. So, scores of 1 game apiece. Now, did I ask you what your what you think the result's going to be in this one?
You didn't, and
1 game all.
I think I better get the record of my
Nottingham
predictions.
to
I
serve.
think Declan's going
Lovell.
to take this from here.
Oof.
1 love.
You got a scoreline for that?
I think he'll take the next 2 tons.
Okay.
2 tons.
2 love.
Haven't seen that from Yusuf at all. Three. Shake hands.
3 love.
Oh no. Looks like he can't continue without with that injury that was taken.
It's such a shame. He gave a really good performance, Yusuf.
If he'd have taken the second, I think he would have carried on, but that's really upsetting. Really unfortunate for him.
Well, just, yeah, as a fellow professional of many years back, just hope he recovers and continues on his progress in the game.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. Luckily, he was able to compete for that.
From a Nottingham position, it's obviously a good result, but not the nicest way to get it. And it brings us to the, probably, as we said early on, the match that we're all really dying to see, and that's number
4 in the world, Nick Matthew.
And number
6 in the world, Marwan El Shabaghi. So that should be an absolute belter. And now that it's a decider, all the pressure's on for these two.
Yeah, nothing I think the two of them haven't experienced before.
No. No, but you'll see they'll both want this.
Players should be almost straight out on the court and all to play for.
Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, the winner of this one takes the match for the entire fixture. And it is certainly hyped up to be a cracker. You've got Nick Matthew, who's just recently come off in the semi-finals of the US Open. So a pretty good result for him, taking his seeding. And Marwan Al-Shabaghi, who had a little bit of an unfortunate start to his season. Only reaching, I believe, the second round of the US Open. But certainly not a player to be underestimated. What are your thoughts for this one, Rich?
Yeah, I think Marwan's had a fantastic season last season and made big inroads up the rankings. But then, as happens to everybody, you find that there's a lot of competition, a lot of competitive players there. Whoever's in form can beat probably anyone in the top 10.
That's very true. He did lose to Diego Elias, who, the little up-and-coming superstar himself, is not something to be upset about losing to, at least at this point in time.
I've not heard that Nick's has any injury problems at the moment, so that's great when both players are firing. You can see them at their best.
Yeah, certainly good to hear. I saw him warming up in the gym next to us, and he certainly looks ready to go. His pre-match workout is something to be respected. I don't think I could do it as a proper workout, let alone play a game of squash afterwards. So, 2-2, Nottingham, Bristol. Who do you think is going to take this one, and by what score?
Marwan's got so many shots that it's sometimes difficult to beat him 3-love. It sounds like I'm giving the match to Nick, but I'm not giving him without a big fight from Marwan, and I think Marwan's had some electric results last season, as I mentioned, and if he does that again, and he produces that sort of form again, then Nick will have to work hard.
That's very true.
With them both getting knocked out of the last tournament early, I think they're both probably a little bit more refreshed than they would normally be if, like Nick very often would have come straight off a final and come straight back and then just had Monday to rest. But he's had more than that, so...
Yeah, he's had a good week off now since the US Open, so he's got plenty of rest in him and shouldn't be too jet-lagged or anything like that. Marwan, of course, he played in the Channel Vast down in the south of England just a few days ago, but was indeed knocked out early in that one.
Marwan went for years not beating his brother. Muhammad is #1 in the world, and then all of a sudden last year picked him off twice. And when he came into his own,
There's a mixture of things in that one because his brother had obviously dropped in the rankings since his time in the world at world #1 to the likes of Greg and Gawad. And Marwan, of course, was very hungry to get those big wins, so to beat him twice and once with a very decisive 3-love was a very good result for him. But you didn't tell me. What do you think the score will be?
3-1.
3-1. There you have it.
Down and out. 1-love.
Heard it here, folks. Heard it here first, folks. Works out, can I? So, in contrast to the game earlier this evening, both players taking a little bit of time with this opening couple of rallies. Just trying to show the other that they mean business. And finally
And out.
Little error coming from Marwin.
Yeah. With Nick a bit hopeless in the corner.
Yeah.
Thing is, even though there might have been a little brushing on the back there, he decided to play the shot, and that's can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah, could have argued he could have stopped and potentially gotten a stroke out of it if the refs were so inclined, but
here's a little coaching thing which tells you a lot about the strength of these top players. If you watch where their hands are, just for that moment, just before they hit the ball, you'll see how low they are. Your average club player thinks that lifting your racket high above your head is how you get a big wallop and win points. Well, it does at the bottom level, but it doesn't at this level. And their hands are right down.
What's the reason for that? To get more power, or is it an
More
accuracy
deception.
game?
They can get power from. You see where his hand is not. No, that's a mistake. But they don't lift their rackets high above their heads unless.
Nice shot from Nick. Give him plenty of chance. And well finished.
No mercy.
3-1.
No, I think Nick will take this one 3-love. I think Marwin's.
Marwin's legs might be tired from the tournament.
That's true. He only made it to the second round in both the events. In both the Channel Masters and the US Open. I'm not 100% sure, but he went out early compared to his ranking at least.
Maybe university work is a bit hard for him at the moment.
What is this? His 7th year or something?
Seventh year in first year.
Surprised he hasn't got a PhD by now. Do you reckon he changes course every time?
Now this is where we talked about, the bounce of the ball. Now the bounce of the ball could make this match long.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we? Boast. Who do you think that'll favour? The bounce of your ball.
Well, it's harder to kill the ball, and Marwin's known skills are the kills and touches into the front. So, yeah, I think it wouldn't be the favourite for Marwin to have to deal with the bouncy ball all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
But so experienced, and the other thing is that these pros are hitting the ball pretty hard, and so that's why they're used to playing with a bouncy ball. And they can get an amazing amount of touch, even though.
Lovely burst from Nick there. No, I agree completely. You've got Nick who, with his age, his ability to have that immediate acceleration into the front corners might not quite be as naturally good as Marwin's at this point in time.
And out. 4-all.
So there's an error.
So it might suit Nick's game, who famously likes to open with a very long game and keep rallies going and make it very hard for his opponent in the first and win on attrition more than anything else. So a bouncier ball might favour him if Marwin can't put those balls away in the front.
Just stop because I stood on his foot before that. It was an accident. Thank you.
Right side, yes, let 4-all.
So I think we're 4-all in this game, and we're already longer than the first game in the match between Declan and Yusuf. So these two are both
And out. 5-4.
keeping up with each other in this game so far.
5-4.
as we approach the mid-stage.
And
And that is a lovely winner.
Rolling.
5-all.
Exactly, not what you'd expect from Nick Matthew. Usually not so aggressive in the front corners, but that's something he's changed about his game. As time's gone on in the last sort of season or so, he's gotten a lot better at being a player who plays cross-court volley nets. Oh, that. Anything you can do, I can do better. Lovely from Marwan. From high up as well.
6-5.
Lovely camera angle for this. And straight roll out the neck. That's a beautiful shot. Good reaction.
Oh, that's a great touch.
Hand out.
Very
Off the
fortunate.
half
6
volley.
all.
Very hard to do that. Very hard to practice that. But a great finish. There we are, 6-all in the first. Very even start between these two. Hard to say that either one of them has a particular advantage so far. Big chats. Great reaction volley from Nick. That is a very nice touch.
Full stretch. Beautiful touch.
7-6.
After a bit of a tricky rally as well. To come out with a touch like that on full stretch. And that reaction volley as well. Great effort from Nick. Oh, very nice drop shot from Nick. Certainly if he plays like he did in the US Open, catch the highlights of that semi-final against Marwan's brother, Mohammed, in the semi-finals of the US Open. If he plays like he does in that match, like he did in that match, I think it could well be a 3-love for Nick. But it must be said, Marwan has a massive ability to dig in deep. He proved that against his brother when he beat him 2-all last year. Ah, well done. Well straightened.
Hand
Hit the
out.
ball really well with his body on that one.
7-all.
Punched that ball straight. Not the easiest angle. Another long exchange between these two. Like they're both feeling each other out like in the first rally. So a lot of patience being shown by both of these players in this rally. It's a long one. A lot of patience. And
Went
just...
for a difficult shot there.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Tough one to
8-7.
deal with. Dropping low and tight to the
And
sidewall,
against the side,
but he
yeah.
committed. He committed to the shot when he knew that Nick was buried in the back. And after all of that, probably 40-shot rally results in a tin that he might have gotten away with taking it to the back. But On it goes, 8-7.
See, Marwin's trying to inject pace. You can see Nick using the throwing up high a little bit more often than not. I'll do it there just to annoy me. But,
Nick Matthew, usually a little bit stingy with errors, just making one there. That is a great shot.
big, very short swing.
And out.
Efficient shot.
9-8.
Efficient. Definitely efficient in the sense that it won the rally. Shortened the game time. Very good boast, wrong foot in Nick.
I saw him do that to
9-0.
Muhammad when he beat Muhammad. He used that boast quite a lot.
It was very effective from the right
that
position.
was a good read.
Say again, sorry?
Nick's read it mostly. Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's stunning. Great
10-9,
shot, especially when you
ball.
consider how warm the ball is. So accurate from Marwin on that one. Tries it again.
I think that came low out of the
And out. 10-all.
the glass at the
Flamers
back.
win by
And
2 points.
local spectators getting involved.
Yeah, a lot of commitment for their athlete who new to the side last season.
Yes, let's. 10-all.
So 10-all. Where to win by 2 clear points.
Right side.
Starting to get into that range of being quite a long opening game.
Played in a good spirit. They're having a little laugh and joke about who's fast enough to get to what. After
10-all.
that left decision.
I don't think there are many balls that these players would just give up without asking for a let. Both of them extremely quick. And you have to be at this level. Might be 37 years of age, Nick Matthew, but he trains harder than the most of them.
Super.
It's lovely. A little bit overhit on that cross court, but great use of the lob to get him out of trouble twice in a row. And just snatched to that one.
And out.
Annoyed with himself.
11-10. Game
Oh,
ball.
you might be right about the 1 game to Marwin, and I might be about to eat my words. Game ball. Nick putting Marwin under so much pain. Oh, what a rally. That was fantastic. So much. A lot of open play, but so controlled from Nick Matthew.
And out.
Yeah, you could not predict that.
11-all.
And there's Marwin running back to Bristol. Just staying in. Oh.
Talked about that boast being a
12-11.
weapon in there's an
Game
error.
ball.
Difficult off the volley though. Especially when it's dipping like that. It's a brave shot to go for by Marwin, but couldn't pull it off in the end. And now 1 game all to Marwin, and now it's 1 game all to Nick. In this time. Oh!
Down.
There's no fear from Marwin though. Game ball down and still goes for it.
12-all.
These two putting on a great show for us tonight in this opener. Good recovery, but big chance.
It's a lovely long cross-court. Very well placed.
He shaped up for the
very well placed.
shaped up like he was going to go for a cross-court Nick attempt, but then punched to the back and it put Nick under too much pressure, and that is a lovely drop shot, but just wide enough to give him the space.
Down.
Oh,
Great
job. Well, I'll eat my words. Marwin's 1 up against the world number 4, the Wolf.
How much money did you put on that being a 3, love?
Ah,
I think your student loan's going to go up.
now my money's in bitcoins. Nick Matthew just asking for the court to be wiped again. You can see the sweat droplets on court. You can see the droplets of sweat in that back corner where most of the exchanges are taking place, in that back left. And a door. Yeah, plenty of sweat in those on that court. So, Birmingham-Warwick still locked in battle. The only match still... Oh no, Chichester and Bexley still going. But Birmingham are apparently 2-love up in their final match fixture of the
15
evening.
seconds.
So will they be able to... Will Warwick be able to get a comeback? And will the local, well, not so local, but the man for Nottingham, Nick Matthew, will he be able to come back from the 1-love deficit and take the match?
My feeling there was that Marwin did more of the travelling than Nick, but you know, these players they're in the top 10, not for nothing.
Yeah, but even after a 19-minute first game,
Bristol lead,
I think these players have to be feeling it. At least breathing a bit heavy. It's a lovely camera angle, this. So much of the play coming down the backhand corner, backhand wall. And
Great tight ball.
Yeah, tight ball being squeezed. Very good shot. Goes for it. Marwin's looking aggressive in this second game. And Nick, you can see him trying to use height to kind of neutralise that attack. Thank you, person who walked in front of the camera. Oh, that's tight. Difficult. What is gonna 3 in a row? What a rally!
The only reason they couldn't put that away is because of the quality of the shots that they're playing and the touch in the front until that final one.
And great movement out of Marwin seemingly always chasing that little exchange.
He's going to get his 5-iron. Do you want to have a little hit, Nick? You probably haven't hit any shots recently.
And out, 1-all.
It's very generous letting his opponent getting some practice in mid-match. Difficult that to deal with, but Marwin does very well. Big chance, and that's a good finish.
Right choice.
Yeah, great whip as well. Bounces off the sidewall, but it dies into that bottom corner, back corner. That second bounce coming perfectly between the joint between the glass and the back and the floor. Ah, great! Another great finish from me.
3-1.
Decision.
3-1.
Just a let being given.
Just a let.
I don't know. I reckon he can get that cross court, and well, I reckon he could have hit it cross court, but I think Marwin might just have been in the way. I've seen him give him for that.
I have.
Down.
10.
And out.
Yeah,
2-3.
necessary error coming from Nick there. Didn't need to force a burst.
It was a great kill from the back of the court.
Yeah, not often you see Nick take it short from the back, but
It's probably learning from Greg Gould too.
I think you have. I guess you have to learn every shot in the book and do it perfectly at this level, don't you? Using plenty of flicks this game, is Nick. Do you reckon that's an adaptation for the hard court, or just something he's bringing into his game? Because you don't normally see him flick cross court from the front, or flick across the front of the court.
3-4.
Interesting stage.
Well, straight in from Marwin. Well lifted,
Oh,
and that is
that's like
brilliant.
Perfect float.
5-3.
Nick doesn't look like too happy about it though.
5-3.
I think the result was so perfect that he had to acknowledge that, you know, it was more an instinct response.
If I do that, I'm taking it.
I know, I can remember. I can remember that cross-court winning, Nick,
6-3.
that you slammed against Trent.
No comment. Actually, no, I will comment. It was meant to go cross court. Bit of a lucky break, that one. Oh, straight in from Nick. Quite
Marwin's doing some quite hard work at the moment.
Yeah, it's not so much the movement in the legs, but the twisting and turning is difficult to do, and that's great shot and great recovery.
Yeah, I think his legs are getting that.
He's just being pushed into those front corners, and Nick is taking him in
7-3.
fairly often now, and with a lot of bite to it.
Out. And out.
Cheap.
4-7.
It's a tactic he's got to use, is the height, to try and neutralise the attacking ability of Marwin, but...
Another good shot from Nick.
And out.
The pressure down the wall was really good.
And good winner. Knows the position of his opponent. Perfectly weighted shot.
Oh, mistake. Yeah.
9-4.
There's signs of tiredness, because I thought after that first game that he'd done just a bit more work than Nick.
Yeah, and Nick needed to make that happen though, as well.
Nick's keeping this very hard, accelerated pace going, and
Absolutely, and you got to say he's more often getting the dominant position on the tee.
yeah.
Looks like Marwin is moving more. And the thing is with Marwin though, those kind of that's nice. Those kind of shots that he tried earlier, like that flick across the front of the court.
Oof, that's a great shot.
That's good. But
Pure
just
skill,
like that shot of the previous rally where he tried to flick it cross court and it just hit the tin. Similar case to that one. He doesn't play with much of a margin for error. Much of a Marwin for error.
Another 10.
And out.
Another one, giving them away.
10-5. Game ball.
And now Nick Matthew has game ball.
So tiredness creeping in.
After that long first game. Perhaps Marwin's summer training wasn't as...
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
Look at that.
He hit a few good shots there, Nick. And
Famous for his ability to lob to perfection. That is a fitting way for that game to end.
definitely signs of tiredness from Marwin.
Do you think that's just in the shot selection, or do you think his movement looks...
Yeah, his movement, I think his legs look rubbery, as they say in China.
So, just to update, it looks like Birmingham took that game 3-0 and beat Warwick 3-2 overall.
Fifteen seconds.
They don't seem to be having too much problem with the court, as Yusuf and Dek had, which is a good thing.
Thankfully not. It looks like we're taking a bit better care of the court this time. More helpers offering up their time to come on court and try out. No one wants to see an accident like the one we saw earlier.
One game ball.
Which, if you're just joining us, did
Nottingham to serve.
in the end force a retirement of Yusuf Solomon against Declan James, and brought us to where we are now, where the score is currently tied 2 games all in terms of overall matches. And in this one, we're about to start the 3rd. Lovely.
And out below.
Wrong footing of Nick right there. Brave shot. Once again, Omar is in for error from Marwin. Just that lob to get himself out of trouble. Another very hard rally at the beginning of this third. Both players looking to prove that they've got all the energy in the world for this one. But that is a lovely shot from Marwin, and I don't think he's going to get a let for that.
2 love.
Contrary to the one in the first 2 games, looks like
another error.
Another error from Marwin, but it does look like... Oh, Dragonfly on court. That's interesting. No, it looks like... at the beginning of this third game, Marwin is moving Nick a little bit more than the other way around, which is exactly what the doctor ordered for Marwin. And there you go, and horrible lunge back to make for Nick.
Seems to take it in his stride there.
Yeah. You have to say, Marwin looks like he's playing with a bit of confidence in this rally. 2 crossbar volley Nick attempts. It's a very accurate shot playing. It's a stunning rally, this. Oh, what a winner.
Hand out.
Very nice shot to win it off, finish it off.
3-1.
Nick knows that even though he took it out of Marwin in the second game, that with a pro's recovery, you need to do it all again.
That beginning phase is going to mean so much of this game.
And out. 2-3.
In order for Nick to just remind Marwin that he's out of breath. Because that 2-minute break can give you somewhat of a second lease of life at the beginning of the next game, and if you can capitalise enough, then...
Perfect length.
Very good.
4-2.
Taking a mini 2-point lead now. So while he might seem more tired than Nick, if he can get a decent lead at the beginning of this third, it might just throw Nick off a little bit, but that's...
Perfect lob.
Exactly.
3-4.
Perfect lob.
3-4.
Yes.
I thought he got it. Very fair.
Not quite reaching those anymore.
I'm still not convinced he didn't get it. Oh, Dragonfly's back. Great get from Marwin. And the error squeezed.
5-4.
Well, if history's going to repeat itself, the last time, the first game, it followed this type of scoreline, very close towards the next stage. He's a very brave character, isn't he, Marlon? Likes to go for shots. Maybe he shouldn't. Look at that.
Perfect.
That was a great shot.
Bad error.
7-4.
Difficult. At the body shot from Nick. Not fooling Marwin though. That's a lovely boast. Ooh, just making the error. Oh, roll reversal on the in the second game. Errors coming from Nick. Maybe he's showing his own tiredness. Not so much in the movement, but in the shot choice and error count certainly is. Ooh. And that was a very deceptive shot from Marwin.
Right.
Difficult to recover from this, I must say.
No.
9-4.
Looks like we're both going to be scuppered on our predictions.
No.
But here comes Matthew, potential fight back.
5-9.
Local support getting involved. There's another one. Marwin choosing to guess that shot was going to go cross court rather than electing to wait until the shot was played. So another potential sign of tiredness.
Another dropping into the neck.
7-9.
They don't call him Nick Matthew for nothing. Love the use of that slow motion camera. Making sure we know that the double bounce was a double. Fantastic. That's a lovely shot.
A working shot.
Well taken by Nick. Very well taken.
8-9.
Really forced Marwin out of position for that, and that deep lunge come from Marwin and resulting in nothing. And now look at this. That is a run of 4 points in a row, and Nick Matthew looks right back in this game. A little bit of Marwin losing his game plan. This is interesting. I want to see the replay for this, but I can't tell why Nick didn't hit that. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I think it's fair to give a let for that. That said, the referees, I don't think, have access to the video replay like we do, so...
Yes,
Let ball being played anyway, so I think the right decision being played. Rich?
Yes, if Cynic and me says, come out of the court and have a chat to the ref and take a few deep breaths.
Yeah, just time to reset after losing 4 points in a row for Marwin. But oh, sounds like a let being played.
Yes, let. 8-9.
It looked a little bit of a soft lid. I think a bit of a benefit there.
Yeah, could have
To Nick's.
potentially played it. Ooh. Error coming, giving Marwin Al-Shbagi.
And that's about his 4th error in this game, which
10-8, game ball.
There's a lot to give someone who's world number 6 and still take the whole game.
tight ball.
Tight ball,
9-10,
but
game
almost regretted it.
Sudden death rally.
Massive one for Nick. Massive one for Marwin. Based on tiredness levels. That said, I think it's been pretty even this game. Movement for both players. Would you say? Ooh, that's a really nice shot. Just gets the recovery, does Nick. These are some heavy movements in this rally from Marwin. Both players wanting to just take a little bit of time to recover playing those lobs. Big chance. Such a massive rally for the game. Such a good rally. And it comes up. Need a replay on that. Definitely need a replay. So what does this ball do? Oh no, then you need to see the Matthew one. Looks like Matthew gets the point. Inconclusive from the replay. I think we can't capture the... Well, can we? Oh, no.
10-all.
Well, Nick Matthew will be happy about that, giving himself a lifeline and bringing it to 10-all.
Pace going up there.
Yeah. Both players trying to bully each other on court a little bit. So it looks like a no-let's being given.
No-let.
No-let being given. So Nick comes back from the dead. 8-10 down now. Game ball at 11-10.
No-let. 11-10. Game ball.
Well, he already did it once this game.
He caused his own position. That's the one thing in the rules. If you've played a bad shot and you get stuck behind an opponent, you have to make the effort to go around. You can't push through. Which is really...
I don't think that decision's fair enough. It might have been a slightly high ball from Nick, but as you said, he's got to make the effort to go around rather than through the player. But Nick has done it already this match. Can he make another run of 4 points in a row to take the game? Yes, let maybe. Stroke being given. Wow. Controversial choice. I doubt Marwin will like that.
If you watch with it, second bounce was if we get a chance.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay on that. That would be... That seems like a very... So I think we're just going to see the whole rally on this one.
Patient build up down the wall.
That's very tight work from Matthew. I love it when you can see a lob that goes that tight and that accurate.
Second bounce was on the short line, the red line across the middle.
Exactly, yeah.
Which with the second bounce is right there.
Yeah, there's space. There is a lot of space between Nick and the ball there, I think. So I mean, he would have certainly got to the ball had Marwin not been there, but I don't think Marwin was in the swing. I thought on first view it was a simple that.
You do have to realise though that, you know, at pro level you get pro marking, so you get penalised for more slight things. You know, you're slightly in the way, then you get penalised.
You'd have to be very brave or very careful in the front corner. And then we see Chichester has taken one game against Bexley, but Bexley has taken the other 4, so they win that match. And Nottingham v Bristol is the only one still going.
15 seconds.
So Marwin's got a lot of work to do now, because he had an 8-4, 9-4 lead.
Yeah, 9-4 I think, and
which means, of course, to take a loss after you've gone 8-4 up is a difficult thing to come back from.
the other pros always say that, you know, you don't beat Nick until you've beaten him. You know what that means, really. It's you know, every single rally he will fight for.
Won't give it to you. Perhaps a little bit of complacency, a little bit of luck, and
So it's 2-1, and my prediction, I'm not risking my pension, definitely not.
yeah, Marwin certainly has the ability to take another game. But you got to say, it looks slightly in Nick's favour given the journey of that second rather.
You have to cut out some of those errors. He's made his first error already.
Yeah, it's a 100% record this game. It's not good. That's a very nice tight ball. That,
Perfect length.
what you said.
And now 1-1.
Ooh, that is very sly.
Spot on timing.
2-1.
Half volley. Which is just biting down into the half volley.
Yeah, see that ball's still rising as he strikes it. Taking it very early. And making great use of the loose ball. Ooh, but that is very cheeky.
And out.
Very well done from Marwin. So, not entirely disheartened as we enter this first beginning section of this game. Here's Marwin after that loss.
It's left 2-all.
Certainly still fighting. Although that was not what the doctor ordered. That was
Yeah, Nick was messing around in the front there.
yeah, very loose shot, plenty of time. Stood still as he plays it. Perfectly balanced. Had all the options and Nick thought he was going in the front. Nice get out of jail from Marwin. He's got Nick on the run doing court sprints, but that is... I don't even see what happened.
4-2.
Volley.
Did he floor it?
No.
Oh, he got her up. Oh, very good shot. Wrong-footed perfectly. That was great. Seeing a lot of nice reactionary play down the middle. Some down the middle shots from both players, but both are reacting really well to it. And that is the exact opposite. Perfect width, very wide. You see how wide on this shot. He goes. Marwin thinking that Nick was going to go straight, but whacking it cross court.
4-all.
Cheap error from Marwin.
Yes, let. 4-all.
I think Marwin wanted a stroke there. Very nice. Oh, that's unfortunate. Tight shot from Nick.
5-4.
Putting Marwin under just a little bit extra pressure. Very nice use of the cross-court lob there from Marwin. Don't see him use that very often. He's quite an aggressive player, so.
Scraped. Scraped a cheeky one.
Can't teach that.
5-all.
Nick not looking very happy about it.
5-all.
And look at this. I can do that on a good day. Bit of luck not hurting Marwin at all as we draw 5-all. Reaching the midpoint of this game. Well straightened from Marwin. And now he's got... Well, he had a lot of power in that rally right then, but Nick neutralising really well with the use of the lob. Oh, lovely shot. Marwin just holding his ground.
6-5.
Using that core strength to keep his body completely still as he plays that. Great effort, but then another cheap error from Nick.
7-5.
Another great lob from Nick. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Lovely drop. And you needed that, Nick.
And out. 6-7.
Can't really afford to go down 8-5 at this stage in the fourth game. Vital that he got that. Bringing himself within 1 point.
Great burst.
Yeah, really well worked.
7-all.
That was a great post. That perfect width dying into the corner for the second bounce. There you go. 2 rallies, 2 points. Draws level. Marwin's got to make a big push if he wants to win this match now. But you have to say Nick is doing a really good job of controlling Marwin. Every time Marwin goes into the front, the use of the lob from Nick, just like that, is a very difficult thing for Marwin to contend with, to keep Nick on the move. Oh, cheeky. How do you get that cross court? Ooh.
And he wanted that.
Lost a bit of patience there. It was a great rally, that.
He had to pull it from behind him too much. I think he's just got the timing wrong there.
Not by much. Not by much. So, 3 points in a row for Nick. It's been the tale of the last couple of games, really. Marwan's had a bit of a lead towards the midpoint. And Nick has fought back and gotten ahead.
Latter stages, errors from Marwan.
Maybe the fitness just not quite there at the moment. At these latter stages, because he can certainly compete in the beginning and mid. But either the fitness or the mental pressure might be getting to him. One of the two. That's a lovely shot. Another error.
That's 5.
And this is big now. Three match balls for the Wolf, Nick Matthew. Will he convert first time? Nottingham do it. Nottingham win 3 games to 2. And Nick Matthew takes out Marwan El-Shabaghi 3 games to 1. With a fantastic drop shot on the volley to finish.
Well, 10, 11, 7.
Well played, and another win from our 16-17 champions. Against a very strong side.
So, the overall match, Nottingham versus Bristol. Hannah Ramadan loses 3-1 against Tesney Evans. Lewis Walters loses 0-3 against Tom Ford. Declan James takes a retirement from Yusuf Solomon at 2-1 up. Richie Fallows takes out Josh Masters 3 games to love. And Nick Matthew beats Marwan El-Shabaghi 3 games to 1. Thank you for joining us this evening at the University Nottingham and Nottingham Squash Club PSL fixture against UE Elite Squash Bristol. Next time we'll be live in November, I believe. So join us next time on the PSL. Thank you.